don't wait for other people to pop on, but I'm like, hey, get to it at the beginning because most people watch it back anyways. You guys, I have a beef to pick with the Metaverse. Have you heard of it? You put on those Oculus glasses and you wave your arms around and you look like an utter fool. A fool, okay? People be like running into walls and stuff. Now, I get it as part of a game, okay? People had those Wii handles and they were running around Super Mario Kart, whatever, okay? Game. We're talking about a place where you leave this world that you can touch and feel, and people you can see who are having a bad day, and people that you can give a hug to, and going in and having an avatar. Now, I recognize that in 5 or 10 years, if this thing were allowed to go down its satanic path, that it would be full body, people will be, well, you'll have to be in a full body suit. Because if you're going to record your movements, right now, you go into this place and you put on these goggles and you put on an avatar. And half the people are going to look the same anyways because it's an avatar, okay? Some of them have so you can do your face. Right now, there's no legs. People have no legs because they don't have things to strap on their legs. But they're working on that, okay? If you guys haven't heard of the Metaverse, you just go look it up and watch some videos. Okay, I'm talking to those people, you've heard of it. Michelle and I do videos all the time about transhumanism. What does that even mean? It means the Matrix, guys, for real. It means they really want to make us biological, mechanical beings, okay? I don't know if it's like some sort of satanic push, if it's got to be, but these people, the technology gets into their minds and they just have to keep going more and more and more, right? Okay, so I was talking to a friend of mine who called and said, I finally understand why you guys say everybody's called to farm. And I know some of you say, no, some people are called to do this, some people are called to do this. When I say farm, I mean we're all called to be connected to the planet somehow, to the earth, to work with natural fibers, to work with wood, to plant things. We're all called to grow some of our own food. Even if you live in the city, you can have a pot and grow some plants, okay, grow some flowers. When we are out completely devoid of growing things and natural things and biological things, we're going to die. Okay? We need trees to breathe in and out. And this is my ultimate conspiracy theory. These people don't want you on their planet because they know that when you're at the ocean, you feel good. But they don't want you at their ocean. Okay? They want you, oh, don't worry, we'll give you little people what it feels like to be in the ocean. We'll even have like fake smells and everything, okay? Well, you know, they might even come up with a splash in the face. I don't know what these people are going to come up with. All I know is that if I'm going to the ocean, I want to go to the ocean, okay? These people want you to walk out in the woods with your goggles on, okay? Now, you cannot simulate a tree and breathing in and out healthy air. What are they going to do? Put us all, well, I guess they could. They could put us all into apartment complexes like they do in some of these movies and have certain air and breezes brush through. But our bodies are designed by God to connect to the planet. So how many of you have ever been on a nature walk in the woods and you can, like, there's something about the moss under your feet that gives off a moisture, right? And you like feel it. And you can, when you hear the wind rustling through the trees and you hear it and you feel it and you smell it and you see it. And these are what we have our 5 senses for, and you can even almost taste it. And we're designed by our five senses. They want to reduce us to seeing. Because you can fool anybody with a picture and a vision and hearing and seeing. Now, you ask yourself, the city of Denver, Colorado just got rid of all mandates, including mask mandates, except for children in schools. When they put on these Oculus goggles, your mouth is not it moves your mouth when you talk. But see this? That's not going to catch that. So if I'm sitting in a room with somebody and I'm working on a smirk, you ain't going to catch it. You know, children are designed to pick up on verbal cues through watching people move their mouths. That's how children learn any language. And there are speech therapists who are having a hundreds of fold increase in toddlers and very young babies who can't speak yet, who are not connecting with their families. And we're creating a generation of people who aren't making connections with humans. And they're training you and getting used to covering this is getting you used to just this. Do you get it? You don't need anything below here. We don't need to communicate below here. I was in a store, we were in Menards, we were looking for some oil for a truck, and we're trying to ask all the people how to get it, and we can't understand a darn thing. Any of these people are talking, and they're constantly, and it's when you're talking like this, you don't even want to talk to people. Is that by design? I don't want to talk to people. I don't understand like this. I don't know what you're saying, man. It is driving me insane. Okay? That's the idea. Because look at I'm smiling. You can catch on the Oculus goggles that your eyes smile. I don't know. But if you're in a room full of people, you're not going to catch your whole, what is it, Michelle, you know this, I don't know. Your face has more muscles than like anything else because there's so many different things that God has designed for our face to communicate. So we can communicate sadness or depression by not saying anything. But you put those Oculus goggles on, no one will notice you if you're getting ready to commit suicide, okay? Or jump off a bridge, because they're not going to see it on your face. Nobody's going to see if you're smiling. Nobody's going to see if you're giddy. Nobody's going to see if you're lying. Okay, you can tell if somebody's lying not just by their inflection in their voice, but by their facial expressions. We get an idea. And not only that, with these Zoom meetings, I thought it was great because people should be, I believe, at home more than away. And if you're an environmentalist, if you care about the environment, you don't want people, if they don't need to drive an hour to work every day, then why? It seems absolutely a waste of time, energy, and everything. But they're getting you used to wearing those goggles and being part of these Zoom meetings. And the positive spin on this is really creepy because I watched a girl who wore them for 24 hours. She didn't try to sleep in them because they have a meditation app that is beautiful, she said, and wonderful, but she kicked it off while she was sleeping. She said she does not recommend wearing them. She said when she took them off, her eyes hurt, her head hurt, everything kind of hurt. But she actually was giving it a positive review. She was doing a workout with it. She was doing, games with it. She went and met people in it. Well, let me just tell you guys, I'm glad that you're watching me right now. And let me explain something to you. I was telling this to my friend. And this is why I have all this stuff out here, because I have projects. I use the internet like you use the internet to make myself more independent. It was because of the internet that I learned how to make homemade dishwashing detergent. Now, it may not seem like a very big thing, but somewhere some way. I don't know. I feel like I'm what do you call it? Crunchy. And there are nasty little chemicals and dishwashing detergent out there that I feel like if I do this, not only is it cheaper, but it's kind of a healthier. So while I'm talking about the evils of the metaverse, I want to explain that the internet is a horrible, awful place, but it also has been a great place for all of us. I was telling my friend I learned how to do all kinds of things independently. Candace learns how to build things, fix cars, and become more independent, but you have to use it as a tool to help you in this life. So some may say, well, I'm just going to get rid of the internet. Well, that's fine, but you're either going to disengage from humanity, or you're going to have to rely on mainstream news, because you're going to have to read newspapers. You're going to have to maybe you can, if you get the Epoch Times, you can stay up on it, and that's what you could probably do. But other than that, it's very difficult to stay in the know on what the evil people are doing and these globalist crazy elites if you don't. I use it to find independent news. So while we're talking, I'm going to give you a recipe for our, yes, we have a dishwasher, okay? We do wash dishes by hand. So this is I've been using this for how many years? 5 or 6 years. This is my recipe for homemade dish detergent. You just use a tablespoon of it, and it lasts forever, and it's very inexpensive. It's there's a lot of different formulations of this. 2 parts of baking soda, 2 parts of washing soda, and I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. 1 part salt, coarse salt, sea salt, and 1 part, this is essential. This is what really gets the grease off. Citric acid. Now, I've seen people use anything from just lemon juice to lemonade Kool-Aid, because it has citric acid in it. But this is actually really inexpensive. Woo, 1 part. Whatever, it's 1 cup, 1 part. You can buy these. I buy this by a 5-pound bag off of, I do buy it off of Amazon. I do. Then 1 part kosher salt. And I recommend, you guys, times are changing. Get yourself some backup salt, because you never know what's going to happen. And I'm not talking about snow and ice. You never think about things you might need, but actually we need salt to live. I'm not going to give you any numbers on that.
Well, you'll hear of people that get stranded somewhere for 20 years, and the number one thing that they're like that they missed out on was salt out of everything.
Yeah, I think you can die. I don't know.
No, they lived for 20 years
with no salt.
Yeah, those people that were like.
Did they have no salt?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. That German family.
There's got to be like natural salt that they had, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know. Get yourself to an ocean. Right. 2 parts of. Now these big bags are fantastic. We use baking soda for everything. Well, not everything, but you can use it for brushing your teeth. You can use it for making homemade deodorant, which we haven't bought deodorant in many, many years. What is Maia's site called?
She doesn't have a website.
Oh, she doesn't. One of our viewers, Maia.
It's a Facebook page. ME Healthy Products, I think.
Oh, okay. She's got a Facebook page. Okay. So, this will last. I don't know how long this will last. I put it in a couple containers. And just use about a tablespoon each time, and it works. It works good. Michelle can attest. Our dishes get clean, and you can, if you want sparkly clean dishes, use a tablespoon of vinegar as your rinsing agent, and then you want to make it smell good. You want to help with the. I just essential oil myself. Lemon. Now, there's certain oils that I recommend internally, certain oils that I recommend for like laundry, and Now is a pretty decent brand. How much, Leah? I don't know. I just sprinkle it in there and mix it up till it makes these little spots. And the Now brand, there's other kinds of lemon oil, and they smell a little bit like petroleum.
Don't get the fragrance.
You don't get the
It needs
fragrance.
to say 100% essential oils.
But some do, and they still smell a little bit petroleum based. Oh, that's actually probably enough. I want to go more, but I really don't need to. So, I get a little crazy with things sometimes. Don't waste it. This lemon oil is fantastic. You can use it in laundry soap. I don't think I would use it in deodorant. I think it might burn. But I wanted to show you something else that I do. Let's see if I can put this aside. Hands a little bit. Outside of the metaverse, using the internets to make life, to get out of the matrix a little bit. This little booger. You guys know what this is? You know what this is? Now, I do thank God for machines right now, for these capsules, because my family cannot handle turmeric the way us strong people can. Straight up. Turmeric is, you buy this thing in a little tiny container at the grocery store for like $5, but you can get a big old pack. This is, I think this is 32 ounces, so this is 2 pounds. Yes, on Amazon. Don't tell them I sent you there. But turmeric is an anti-inflammatory, and it is so good for you. And getting the capsules and getting people to take it, I need them to take it. So we have ourselves a capsule maker. Now, each time I do this, I'm not even kidding you, it is a little bit complicated for me, and I skip one step usually. I need to do this, so you're going to do it with me, and we're going to talk about the metaverse while we do it. But I'm going to get my little pieces out here. Okay. Yes. Yes. Bottoms go in here. And I just do it by hand. And my tops, I do this by hand. Now what you can do is you can dump them all in here. You can separate them. Then you can dump them all and shake them. Doesn't really ever work for me very well. So what I do is I do it like this and take them apart one at a time. So while I'm doing this, we are going to talk about the other thing that is happening all over the world right now. And the truckers have risen up in Canada, and I know that you know about this. Do you know that there are truckers at the border of the United States and Canada? And they are negotiating for the end of the mandates there. They have so far gotten some concessions, last I checked, to where if they were to open one lane, then in rural Alberta there would be no mandates for vaccine mandates, and they were going to, and in order to get them to fulfill their promise, they're going to stay there, and they're just opening up one lane. I don't know, guys, but something is changing. Something is definitely changing, and we need to be excited about it. When you guys watch our show, I think on Friday, or I might even do a special tomorrow, Emerald Robinson, she was my favorite Twitter chick, and she came out with an article explaining what's the word I was looking for, the subterfuge of our very own Mike Pence. And she has all the names of all the people that were in Mike Pence's inner circle that were very bad people. And I'd love to have all the names for you, but I don't have my computer up. I can only do one thing at a time. But one thing that stuck out to me was one of Mike Pence's assistants just so happens to be the husband of Peter Strzok's assistant. Go figure. And who was it that fired Mike Flynn? Mike Pence. So he was put there by the deep state to keep an eye on Trump. And honestly, I think that's what Mike Pompeo is there to do right now too, to keep an eye on Trumpy baby. Trumpy baby, to keep him in line. Trump was surrounded by snakes in the grass. Absolutely surrounded. Now that I was talking about it with Michelle, and yes, you need to be a good judge of character. But when people are lying to you through their teeth, how can you even begin to think that a guy like Mike Pence is going to be put in there just to stab you in the back, just to keep you in line, just to keep you from implementing the America First policies, just enough to speak craziness into your ears? Now, I don't trust the Jesuits as far as I could throw them. They teach these boys at these Jesuit schools. Somehow they pull out the ones that they think that will be good. And a lot of these kids, a lot of these young men are schooled at these Jesuit schools. I bet if you do a percentage of the kids that went to Jesuit schools and end up in high places, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch were from the very same high school. That statistically has to be impossible, unless there's somebody in charge putting people in charge, and you put your guys in there. And then look what's happening right now with the Supreme Court. We see that Gorsuch tends to be a little bit more conservative, obviously, but is he just playing us? Because it seems to be that he'll side with Clarence Thomas on issues, maybe when it doesn't matter, just to make it look like he's the conservative one. I don't know. There's a lot of lying and cheating and conniving, and I don't know how these people, I know how they go to sleep at night. They think that they're part of some greater plan, and they're, I don't know, saving the republic from Trump or something. I don't know. I honestly, I can't get inside these people's heads, and that's what's frustrating about being, on the outside, trying to figure out what's going on. And history will tell us what other people have done. Now, we know about the Frankfurt schools. We know that they were set up by communists to create communist thought, to create people who were revolutionaries and would make a people's party, which would basically turn society upside down, destroy the family. And they did a pretty good job. They're in colleges. I think Scott Kesterson said that he had a professor that was schooled at the Frankfurt school, and these people go on to school everybody else, and that's how we end up with all these Marxists everywhere. And now it's like okay, in the past 4 years, it's like okay to be a Marx. It's not communist anymore; it's Marxist. So there's a lot going on right now as far as the transhumanism goes with the metaverse, and I just want you guys to stand with me in the line, and please do not get your kids those Oculus goggles. Please don't go into the metaverse. Stay out. I think Marcus Rogers thinks he's going to go in and witness to people there. Please don't go there. No, don't go. All I can say is don't do it. It's not a real place. It is set up by Satan. I'm telling you, we've got to stay out of that. There's something there that everything in me is just like screaming. I think it's the last straw. And I think if this doesn't bring down the system, I don't know what will. But in other news, the Facebook market cap today, I think that enough people they don't want to do it. Like, you pushed us too far. You know, maybe if we win, like, a real vacation to the Caribbean, we'll take it. But most people, oh, shoot. When you lose one, you can't find it. Most people want to be places. They want to touch people. And I think humanity is definitely going to win. So I want you guys to be encouraged and excited about that. Humanity is definitely going to win this. But it doesn't mean that we're just going to let them do their thing. Okay, so now my next step is, I think it's to fill. Okay, so we're going to fill, and then we're going to tamp down. That might be a little much. So you can do this, guys, with anything that's a powder. Use way too much. Isn't that cool? Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but use this little scraper and fill it in like that. And then it's got a little tamper, and you can get a little bit more in there, more bang for your buck. You can use this for anything that people are, you know, you have a hard time getting anything down. But I highly recommend it for turmeric because it's so good for you. And if you can't handle the taste of it, which some people can't, this is a really great alternative to having. And honestly, it's kind of a fun thing to do. If you're watching TV, if you're listening to Resistance Chicks, I hope that you guys do stuff while you listen to Resistance Chicks. That's what I want you to do. Okay. Wait. This right?
And then, no, what you need to do is
wait.
You need to pack it in several times with this first.
I think when I've done it extra, it doesn't really do much.
No, it always adds more.
Okay. Well, I usually do it once. If Michelle wants to do it twice, we'll do it twice. We'll give it a little extra. Pad our numbers here. We're like the Democrats here. Just kidding.
Well, you can't overdose on turmeric, so the more you can fit in the capsules, the better.
Yeah. Okay. So then I put my little orange thing on here. I think. Is it? Do I take? Hang on. I gotta remember if I take this off.
Whoa.
No. This just goes in. I gotta read my instructions again. I read it every single time. Please be right. Please be right. No, it's wrong. Wait. Shoot, I wanted you guys to see it live.
I think you put the orange thing on upside down.
Oh, no. No. I should have read each instruction while I had you guys. No, it's going to be bad.
Wait a minute.
No, they're all gone.
That's okay, guys, because here's the thing. There's a way to do this so that you don't have to do it the way that Leah did it.
Okay.
So we just need to we need to get all these out.
Okay.
No, don't dump it.
Okay, we'll lean it.
Here.
We'll lean it. Wait, right down here. You guys. Oh, no, it's not going to work. They're all falling on the floor. Can't do a second take. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Okay, I'm going to read my instructions one more time. Did I put these in? Did I put them in right? If I didn't put it in right, that could be very bad.
Anyway, the idea behind this thing is that you're supposed to just be able to shake it. And then they kind of, a lot of them fall into place.
Yeah. No, that's right. I am supposed to. We just put too much turmeric in.
Wait.
No, those are just like empty. That's why this has to come off. This comes off. That's why there's too much turmeric.
I don't think you're supposed. Well, you just don't just set that on the counter. Just set it in like a plate. Like on a plate. You're actually not supposed to fill the turmeric.
Oh, that's right. That's all I did wrong. That's
On
right.
there.
That's right. That's all I did wrong. So we'll just do that. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're gonna make it somewhere. You guys can see what there we go. I wonder what I did wrong. There you go. How many fell on the floor?
We'll find out in a minute.
It's working. At least you can show them this way to do it. They don't come separated, so.
I'm just gonna find, they don't all go into place, but most of them do.
Well, I'm gonna have to get out a couple more. So how many do I need? Lid wise. Some fell on the ground. Not very many.
Not too many.
Ooh, cool. Great. One.
Just where?
Just one.
And,
Ah! Yay!
okay, now this thing is tapered. So what you want to do is put it like this, and then it'll hold it into place like that. There we go.
Okay, this is my favorite part. Are you ready?
No, wait. Now I like to see, there's a lot of air at the top there. So then I do an extra step that Leah doesn't usually do. And that's kind of pop them down. Like this. I just like to squeeze them together.
So you don't get air in your stomach?
I don't want all that extra air in my stomach. Who wants to have a little gas bubble? But
it's not going down.
no, I just do it by hand.
It's not moving!
But anyway.
I'm just crushing them.
There you go. So there's your
Wait,
turmeric capsule.
yeah.
Now wait, let's pour it in a bowl and then I can see.
Yay! Alright, dump them out. Boom, baby. Boom.
There we go. And you can see the difference between the ones that haven't been squeezed. And I usually just take the time to kind of squeeze them. There you go.
Or you could... Yeah, I see. She's squeezing them down. Getting them down all the way. I understand. That's... You know what?
I usually
here's
use...
the thing.
Here's the deal. We're doing 2 different people, have 2 different ways. I usually do this like 5 or 6 times, and I don't end up with any air in mine. I get them chock full of turmeric. But it just takes a lot of extra time to do it that way.
No, I just... It doesn't ever fill up for me. So.
A for effort, Michelle says. Thank you, Michelle. So Ted wants to know, what is the Metaverse?
Look it up. You have to know, they're putting goggles on people, and it's a place where they want people to work and live and play.
And buy property.
Where you put on these goggles and you enter in another place. It's like Zoom, but you have an avatar. And
you would see something in 3D. So you would
Yeah.
see and almost be able to touch it, but obviously not touch it.
Mm-hmm. You can't touch it. That's the point. You can't, it's not real. That's the point. You can't touch anything. All right? So, last thing. This is what you can't do in the metaverse. This is actually a video for a lot of people who we'll do more videos on what is the metaverse. This is for people who know what the metaverse is and just kind of like comparing life. So, I just watched a couple videos on the metaverse where people are excited about it. And they're saying that it's fantastic, that they want you to stay all day there, that you'll do everything in the metaverse. What the heck is everything? Can I make my turmeric pills there? Can I make my dish soap there? No, they want the whole planet run by machines. That's why they really need electric cars, is because they don't want even truck drivers. I really think the next people that they want gone is truck drivers, because they realize that they're the last, mechanism of humanity there. Because even if you can get machines to do everything else, you have to have truck drivers to get stuff to people. Everything in this house was transported by a truck. Okay? And the truckers understand that. And the truckers are mostly small home people who just, they drive and they see the world and they see the planet and they want to be a part of it. That's why they like to be outside. They don't want to be in your stupid metaverse. So what else can't you do in the metaverse? Well, this is bacon grease, by the way. And this is whole wheat dough that I have had rising. It's for rolls. Big rolls that we make sandwiches out of. And I used 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of water, a couple tablespoons of lard. I didn't use eggs in this one. Didn't call for eggs. I'm really surprised. A couple teaspoons of salt, a couple tablespoons of yeast, and then flour till when it soaks up. So you're gonna, and then I kneaded that. Someone gave us this giant mixer, absolutely huge, and so I've been using that. Here's my dough. Hey, did you get my white thing? My little, I don't know if they call it a bench scraper. I don't know what you want to call it. This is my favorite little thing because it doesn't put marks in your counter. And I would have turned my counter sideways, but I really just kind of was doing this stuff today, and I was reading and listening about the metaverse, and I was just, everything in me said that's a very bad idea. We can't do that. We cannot do that. And I didn't want to do it. I wanted to just come on here and just, I can't make dough. I can't knead things. I have a bicycle attachment to a grain mill down in the basement, and we grind our flour for most things that we can, and we make most of our baked goods at home, and they're good and nutritious. And that's what I'm thinking to myself, they don't ever put any caveats to, okay, when I say you can do everything in the metaverse, you can't actually bake bread. But I think that honestly, Mark Zuckerberg has become and I'm saying this, he's become like some sort of weird robot. I don't know if he just, drinks robot juice. Like, do they have food just for robots that he just like, do they have robot bread? Like, what do they do for robots? That's a question. Put that in the comment sections. What do you guys think Mark Zuckerberg eats? Does he eat robot food? I don't know. I really don't know what these people do. I do not understand how somebody can. Well, I do, unless they're trying to get you out of the world. There was a whole convention where Mark Zuckerberg's walking through like 1,000 people with these goggles on, and he's smiling. Well, guess what? He didn't have his goggles on at that moment. It was like he was some sort of totalitarian, weird dictator with all these people, these robot people, these transhumans. I am not a transhuman, and I think that is the real difference between, just being on the internet and then this metaverse. It's a step into transhumanism. Okay, I am not a transhuman because I get on the internet and I get my news there. But if I start to create my senses there, my sense of smell, or everything that they want to try to do, I don't know if they're going to have smell-o-vision or whatever they're going to do there, but it's not a good place, guys. It's just not. So I want to encourage you, though, that I don't think they're going to do it. Like I said, Facebook lost 20% of its stock value today. Their earnings are not coming in. And why would that be? Well, Facebook actually started by a guy who just supposedly just wanted to connect people. And you really just hooked up with people like your friends and family and shared pictures and articles and stuff. And now they want to go so much farther. And people don't want to go with you there. They actually have been happier to just continue to engage with their friends and their family with pictures of vacations. And now we don't get to see what we're sharing article-wise. You guys know this. If you share an article that Facebook deems dangerous, because the metaverse isn't dangerous, but your articles could be very dangerous. They will put you into timeout. Now, Michelle, if Facebook will put you into timeout for an article that you share, what could they do to you in the metaverse?
Right.
What could they do if you've got right now, a lot of people have their businesses on Facebook, Facebook business page. You don't really have a business unless you have a Facebook business page, and if you actually had your business? What if your whole business? What if your whole business were on the marketplace or the Metaverse? Then they could really shut you off. Could they put you? Here's the thing. They call it Facebook jail. Could they literally put you in Metaverse jail? Like, what happens at that point? Like, this is stuff is getting really creepy. You know what I mean? It is, like, if it feels that real, what if they come and march you off to a meta jail? You know what I mean? Like, what if they, I just, and then the ultimate goal, right, is Zuckerberg has admitted he wants an implant in your eye that, I don't know if he said brain yet, but he said eye, so that you can focus and see all of your news wherever you're at. I watched this girl, she put her Oculus goggles on. She's in the room, and the room is now the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. And it's like the whole thing, and she can read it like she's staring at a giant Lincoln Memorial wall. I don't want to be immersed like that. What could that, Michelle, what would being stuck in an Oculus goggle do to a parent? It's enough. Everybody's like, oh, the phones. The phones you can drop at any moment. Those Oculus goggles, so here's the thing. Think about this, right? Let's say you've got a toddler. Let's say you've got a 1 or 2 year old. Okay. So when you're even, and I'm not advocating for being on your phone and scrolling through your phone, but can you or can you not see things out of the corner of your eye? When you're in that bubble, you've got its ear, right? So you're hearing just there. You're gone. You're literally gone. Like, you think families are separated now? Bring on that Metaverse. Those children will be injured. Families will just just people are on their phones enough as it is. And I just look, all the ramifications of what Mark Zuckerberg is saying, he's not, and these people are not addressing any of them. Bill Gates has come out and said, oh, the world will now, we're going to be Metaverse. That's what Bill Gates says. We're just going to operate. And why would a Bill Gates say that, Michelle, the same guy who wants to depopulate the planet, says there's too many people? Well, if you get everybody to experience their lives within their homes, then you have just solved overpopulation. We can be done. I can sum this up. So, it's also a good form of birth control. Because if you're sitting there and you're not moving and you're not interacting with people, you ain't going to get pregnant, you ain't going to get babies. So Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro talked about this. And I loved what Ben Shapiro said. He said, well, the Muslims, the Orthodox Christians, and the Orthodox Jews will all take over the world. Because those people are still going to have babies. So, hey, lefties, Democrats, liberals, I love you too much to tell you to go into the Metaverse, even if it means that Christians populate the planet. But honestly, though, I think Christians are not smart enough to stay out. So that's what I gotta warn you guys. All right, guys, I love you, and we go live every Friday at 6 on Brighteon. And check us out on
What are you wearing?
But I wore this on purpose. So, this is the best place to be right now. I know you're on Facebook. I should be going live on Cloud Hub, but I'm advertising for Cloud Hub on Facebook to get you guys all over there, to get accounts there so we can go live. And so I don't have to censor what I say, because the CEO, Jeff Brain, is a hero of mine. He's a Christian. He's filled with the power of God. He has places where you can do meetings, like Zoom meetings. There's a lot of Patriot groups over there. There's a ton of great videos over there. So if you guys don't have a Cloud Hub account, get one. What am I supposed to say?
Think freely. Think and speak freely.
All
Get
right.
clout.
All right, we love you guys.